the highest level, the highest dimensions, we become suns, central suns to our own universes, galaxies, host of beings, and planets. Able to project our minds, project a hologram so complex that we have to go within it to be able to understand it. It's very interesting. What I found out is that the goddess Kali manifests herself through storms, rainstorms, thunderstorms, snowstorms. Those are the times when I honestly have the best communication with the goddess, when I can see clearly, even when I'm not at a higher state of mind, dealing with psychedelics and things of that nature. And it really makes me think about the Titans, and also this new movie that I watched about the trolls. I think it's called Troll Hunters or something like that. But the three Titans come back. It's two women and then one male who actually looks like a female. So it's a very interesting dichotomy that they pull there. Effectively, what they were trying to show us in this movie is that the Titans are rising. What the Titans are, what their powers and the scope of their understanding is. It's just very, very interesting dealing with the symbols in this movie. And I didn't really go super deep into the actual movie. I could go so much deeper in decoding it and understanding the symbols. But the basic premise is the Titans rise and are trying to make the planet the way that it used to be, when it was still directly connected to higher dimensions, when you could access higher dimensions as well. And these troll hunters are working with alien beings who have given them technology and are trying to stop this change from happening because they want to keep the power structure in place. And that's what you keep seeing over and over again. There's something that's rising from the waters, something rising from the darkness, the Dark Lord, whatever you want to call it. They're trying to stop this force from rising to keep the power structure in place. And when we deal with that, you can deal with that on multiple levels. As a personal awakening, as an awakening of this planet, which the mind of this planet would be you and me. We represent the mind of this planet in flesh. There's no self, there's only one. There's only connection. And so when you deal with the connection and you deal with the oneness part of it, you realize that at multiple levels you're awakening. They're stopping your personal awakening. They're stopping the earth from going through this transition. And it's all based on what is called phase lambda. Phase lambda is a light bacteria that comes from the star Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse is effectively releasing millions upon trillions of billions of fucking particles, and it's floating through space and coming to this planet. I mean, this is verified from different sources and things of that nature. The best book to get on phage lambda and the understanding of what the pharaohs understood about becoming a bioluminescent species, I discuss in an earlier lecture that I also posted on YouTube, if you want to catch that, under the same name, Studies in the Fifth Dimension. But it is the Isis Thesis, okay, decoding 800 signs and symbols in Egyptian hieroglyphs, dealing with a lot of the funerary texts. So it's a real deep read, a real deep find. And it really gets to the point where we can fucking understand exactly who and what we are and what this reality is. And the way that, I really would explain it is that when you go to a higher state of mind, you become like the architect in the Matrix. If you ever seen the Matrix 2, when Neo goes to meet the old white dude in the white and green room, and it's some real Masonic shit for sure. It's definitely some real Masonic shit. But in there, what he has is a bunch of TVs, and every TV shows every possible choice that Neo could make within that position. and then focuses in on the choice that he has made, which is the reality that he's focused in on. And so what it's showing is he's a fifth dimensional being. He's a higher being. They can see all possibilities and choose the one most favorable, create the one most favorable. And that's what you do in the fifth dimension. That's what you are. You are a higher mind that can see all possibilities. How do you think you can see the future? You can see the possibility of a future. Okay, and that's what the science tells us. That's what the science teaches us, is that you can see possibilities because you can choose what you want to happen. You can choose how you want things to go. You can choose to create a timeline that's structured the way that you want it. And I'm not saying you can change everything in that timeline. So it's not necessarily how it works, because you're working against other forces, if you get what I'm saying. But you can make things favorable for you in a certain arena where you can create a realm where you have influence. Because once again, you know, dealing with changing everything, you're working against other forces. But if you gain enough influence over, a certain arena, then yes, you can work and make a lot of change to benefit yourself, especially with magic. It's not the answer to everything, but it's the answer to a lot of things, especially what we're going through right now. Because, I read a book the other day that talked about how they took the idea of what was going on during the Jewish Holocaust, and now they took that structure and made it a society, made you dependent on a system that is trying to enslave you, trying to steal from you that which is most precious, that is your mind. So back to the idea of being a higher mind and being able to project your own hologram. Currently situated, you are projecting your own hologram. Your body itself is a hologram that you are projecting into this reality. And you're experiencing this reality through the electrostatic waves of the brain.